listening to the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS podcast with hosts Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook podcast here, giving you our first look at Wednesday's 8-game main slate. James, my guy, man, how are we doing today?
Doing good. 8-game slate, no cores. Great day to be great, John.
It is a great day to be great. No cores. Yeah, we have a little 4-gamer at 1 p.m. So hopefully those of you who are watching this, you're in our Discord, getting ready for that 4-game 1 p.m.er. We're in there answering your questions in our premium Discord channels. If you're not yet already a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, you guys know what to do. Go to fantasyalarm.com/allpro, fantasyalarm.com/win, whatever you want, how you get there. Doesn't really matter. Just come join the family today. Get a 7-day free trial. Get access to our premium content, access to our premium Discord. The Fantasy Football Draft Guide comes free. The Fantasy Football Cheat Sheet comes free when you sign up and become a member of the Fantasy Alarm family. So really, you're just wasting your time by not joining and becoming part of the Fantasy Alarm group here today. Before we get going on things, of course, quick shout out to our friends over at Real Time Fantasy Sports. rtsports.com/alarm, promo code alarm23. New users will get a 100% deposit match up to $200 when they make that first deposit. You can use that deposit match when you give out our DFS pick'em plays, or if you're not into some DFS pick'em props, you can go ahead and use that bonus money in their NFL Best Ball, NFL Seasonal Fantasy Football Contest, giving away 25 large in their Best Ball Championship contest this year. So go ahead, take advantage of their bonus offer today. Get involved over at rtsports.com. James, turn attention over. We got 8 games to talk about, man. What's noticeable to you when it comes to Vegas totals on this slate?
9.5 implied runs in the Chicago Bowl, 9.5 implied runs in Yankees Braves, and 9.5 or 9, depending on where you look, in Boston, Washington. Those are like the 3 notable implied totals. The rest of the games sitting 8.5. So, there's some interesting spots. Nothing Corzy or nothing like the 10.5 implied runs in the Braves Yankees from Tuesday's slate.
Sure. Listen, this is a much better pitching slate than what we had to deal with for 13 games on Tuesday. Kevin Gausman, Blake Snell, Clayton Kershaw, Luis Castillo, Aaron Nola, Charlie Morton, James Paxton. I mean, already that is more than enough starting pitching on this slate than we were even considering playing on a 13-game slate for Tuesday. I guess the question really is, though, what is the matchup that sort of jumps out to you? Gausman versus Philly, Snell versus Baltimore, your 2 guys up over 10K. Kershaw, second start back against Milwaukee. Castillo gets that red-hot Kansas City team. Nola going up against Toronto, guys up over 9K.
You could probably make a case for all of them. I'm okay getting to Gausman. We know what the upside is. 28 and 29 fantasy points in 2 of his last 3. Philly's offense obviously has been better lately, but they've been better against lefties. Snell is good. Hasn't really given up any damage since Boston on May 19th. So it's really hard to want to go against Snell. He just walks too many people. Obviously that could always come back to bite him. I'm okay getting there. We know Baltimore can hit lefties, so I think Kershaw is probably the first name that really sticks out. The only problem is the pitch count is obviously, an issue. We were pretty much spot on. Didn't get to 70 pitches.
If he got the win, we would have been pretty happy, but he didn't get that. So.
I assume we'd get somewhere close to 80 here. But we don't know what Dave Roberts is going to do ever. Right. So 80 pitches. Maybe.
We also don't know if it's a pitch count or if it's an inning count, which is sometimes scary too, right? So it's oh, great, he's had five innings at 60 pitches. Like, well, he only was going 5. We weren't going to let him go longer. It's great.
I think Luis Castillo, again, you got to decide whether this is a day he gives up home runs. If it is, he's going to get shelled, and if it's not, he's going to get you 30 fantasy points.
Right.
It's kind of been the Luis Castillo story. So whatever side of the fence you sit on there is...
He's certainly turned a corner of late. 4 of his last 5 starts now, 24 or more fantasy points. So, yeah, it's scary because of how red hot Kansas City is. Few teams are rolling as good as they are right now, but Castillo certainly can dominate. You got him on the road here, which is where he's actually been worse.
Yep.
So something to watch. We'll also we'll have to see what the weather's like in KC, right? If it's hot, if it's humid, if the wind's blowing out, that ball's flying. So we saw what KC did to Gilbert 2 nights ago. That was a problem for him. So
right, and what Seattle is doing in Kansas City on Tuesday, they just hit their 4th home run in the 4th inning, so they have the ball's flying in Kansas City.
A lot of power there. So I'm with you there. Wheeler did shut down Toronto tonight. I mean, we've talked about this with Toronto all year long, right? Like, name value, great. Talent value or production value this year hasn't been always there. The problem is things mostly haven't been good for Aaron Nola. He pitched well against Washington, but it took him 105 pitches to get through 5 innings. So super risky proposition going Nola, knowing the fact that he's also up against Kevin Gausman there. And then we have guys under 9K. I mean, listen, we were rolling Paxton for a little bit. 5 1/3 shutout against KC at $9,300, and all of a sudden, $8,200? Question mark?
Yep.
Question mark?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of interest actually in the next 4 names.
Okay, right on off to me, man.
Morton against the Yankees. Yankees have been good against lefties, not good against righties. I like Paxton in tournaments against Washington. Pavetta struck them out. He just ran into some trouble. Washington's offense
for the bases double, right? Something like that.
After two walks, you get in. That's not really Paxton. Paxton has 22 walks in 80 innings. Like, he is a relatively controlled pitcher. I like Dean Kramer. I'm going to keep attacking San Diego. Dean Kramer has had some solid upside this year. We've seen just in recent months, and dating back to July 5th, games of 35 fantasy points, 28 fantasy points, 21 fantasy points. So I like Dean Kramer against the Padres, and John Gray coming off his best start in God knows how long. Finally got back on track, and I know it was San Francisco, but John Gray strikeouts 7, 6, 6 the last 3 games. The Angels are striking out almost more than anyone else in baseball right now. So I'm okay actually getting to all 4 of those guys. And I think you can pair, pick your top guy and pair one of those 4. But there's also, I think, maybe a couple good value plays as well down here.
Well, tell me then, what's the value that you're targeting here? Guys that are under the 7K, you mentioned Gray here. I don't think you're talking Wade Miley against the Dodgers. Can't imagine you're talking Griffin Canning against Texas, right? Are you looking at Assad against the White Sox here, maybe?
Yeah, I think Assad is okay. Like, there's limited strikeout appeal, but there's no Stroman returning here, so Assad gets extended again. We've seen now 62, 83, 90 pitches in his last 3 games, and we've seen what the White Sox offense looks. Now, they did get Luis Robert back, and he's made an impact immediately upon returning. So, that's obviously a little scary, but Assad's been good now that he's been extended. Also, we could also play a Paxton, Kramer, John Gray all pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't want to go down to the Javier Assad, you don't really have to.
Sure. Any interest, Marsh or Clevenger down at the way bottom? No, didn't think so. All right, moving on over to the infield then. Where are we going when it comes to our top spend-ups? This slate, obviously, a little bit tougher for bats as we find our way rolling back around, but we do have the Dodgers against a lefty. So, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, guys like that. We're going to be looking at Ahmad Rosario. The Dodgers infielders are all pretty much going to be in play here.
Yeah, Freeman hits lefties well, too. You could just, all of them, just throw them all in a pile of yes. Obviously, Corey Seager, Griffin Canning here. Seager's probably one of the top spend-ups on the slate. Canning hasn't been great for a little while now. He's been getting hit around. He's only made it through 6 innings once in his last 5 starts. He's been a lot of traffic. He does have some strikeout upside, but that strikeout upside came against the Yankees, so that's not exactly a really strong selling point. Getting to someone like Bobby Witt, if you are playing Kansas City, look, again, there's like two options here. Castillo is either going to mow Kansas City down or he's going to get shelled. It's like that's just all that Luis Castillo has been. And if you're playing multiple lineups, if you're playing the 20 max, getting a Kansas City stack with Bobby Witt makes a lot of sense. I'm okay getting to Devers here, and maybe one of my favorite. What's the price here for Trevor Story?
Yeah, 45.
$4,500. You know, definitely woke up. Maybe a sneak preview into the cover of today's show, but second base shortstop eligible, 4,500, and Mackenzie Gore, dude. The last time he took the mound, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned, 3 home runs.
Yeah.
He's now allowed like
Red Sox are going to
7
be,
home runs.
I think, a popular team. As we always talk about, though, the problems with the Red Sox is that all their best hitters are lefties. So, now some of them hit them. Devers obviously hits lefties well. Justin Turner, we know, annihilates lefties, but Casas, Verdugo, Duran, Yoshida, like all from the left side of the dish. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they build that lineup. We know for sure we'll see Refsnyder. We'll see Pablo Reyes. We'll see Connor Wong. Devers, Turner. But we'll see Duvall. I guess probably plays ahead of Duran or Verdugo here in this game.
Yeah, Duvall probably hits right in the middle of the lineup too, like third.
Yep, I would agree with you there. Looking at value, I mentioned Rosario. He's 43. I think that will play. We'll see if Vaughn Grissom or not gets in the lineup, but if not, Nicky Lopez, you can just kind of run right back to him here. He's going to hit the bottom of their lineup at $2,800 again against Vasquez. So either one of those two guys in the lineup with Albie's now on the IL, we know we can certainly find our way to going there. If Chris Taylor plays against Miley, he's $3,800. Moustakis against Gray, if you're not in on Gray, his last outing, Moustakis is just $3,200 there in that spot. I think we could go Cubs against Clevenger if you wanted to. I think that's probably a pretty good spot as well.
Yeah, we can. Any Cub, Bellinger, I know he's expensive. He's not cheap. Woods, they don't really have a necessarily. Everyone's so expensive in their field now. The Cubs really got priced up, which is, a shame because they've been so free for us for a while. Who was I just looking at here?
Would you play Mountcastle versus Snell?
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I'd probably play like one-offs if I'm playing Baltimore. It'd be like one of Mountcastle or Santander, not both. Just because you look at Snell's numbers and it's been hard. Like as much as he walks people and stuff, it's been tough to like stack against. So I play one of the two.
Sure. Anybody else at infield?
Josh Rojas just hit his first home run for Seattle. Now, stringing together like pretty good game after pretty good game, second and third base eligible. He gets Alec Marsh. I mean, Alec Marsh has been pretty freaking bad. So him also, I'm just going to go right back to Seattle. Ty France, also another guy starting to heat up. He just homered for Seattle. He's $3,300. So some cheap Seattle pieces could be in play here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Moving on over to the outfield again, Ron Acuna price drop, $6,600. He was 68. He's been 67. Don't really know what the DraftKings algorithm is deciding when it comes to Ronald Acuna here, but he did homer today, recording obviously here for the Tuesday night for the Wednesday slate. Did homer Tuesday, which was my Better Sports betting show home run call today, plus 370. Cha-ching on that one. He's there. Ohtani, Mookie again, second in outfield eligibility. Good spots for him that I know we're in on. Bellinger, you talked about. Adolis against Griffin Canning probably feels pretty good, and we'll see how many people are actually playing Texas. Because as we said, nobody played Texas on the Tuesday slate. Another great spot for all those guys.
Yeah. Texas is a really good play once again. And I doubt they'll be this loaned on a smaller slate, but we'll see because, people are just naturally going to gravitate to Braves. There is no Coors Field in this slate for people to just throw all their ownership towards. I love Julio Rodriguez here, 5,300. He's been really, really good of late. Had a monster game again on Monday. wait and see on Tuesday. JD Martinez is back. If you want to add him into the Dodgers equation, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you're not playing James Paxton, Lane Thomas has been a monster. He has 20 home runs now in the
This
year.
could be an interesting time
Then
to play Toronto, given how bad Nola really has been this year.
Sure.
And we always say nobody ever plays Toronto. And maybe just like the name value of Aaron Nola could keep guys off like Whit Merrifield and George Springer and Vlad Guerrero on that crew. So that could be a pretty interesting contrarian play early, just an early look at this slate.
People are far more likely to play Aaron Nola than they are at Toronto.
It feels that way, right? Especially after Wheeler just pretty much blanked them the night before. People will just associate those two, even though it's not necessarily the same. Can always play everybody in Atlanta. Don't need to just sort of repeat myself there. But Harris is 44. Ozuna homered tonight off Severino. He is at 43. Can go there in the mid tier. You mentioned Duvall, Santander. Though Santander, as we talked about earlier this week or last week, better actually against righties this year than lefties. So maybe not the right spot for him. You've mentioned the Cubs outfield's always pretty cheap. So a lot of good options here in this like low 4K range.
Yeah, and former Brave great Adam Duvall. If he wants to hit like a Brave, he can do that. If he wants at 4K, he'll probably be popular. I assume, just looking first look, Red Sox are the most popular stack of the day.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption. My assumption is they're going to be the most popular team. I would probably, if not playing Assad because he pitches to contact, like I would probably play Eloy. 3,600 just feels pretty stupid. Pretty stupid for when he's healthy. Cade Marlowe.
Cade Marlowe has been a guy that I've thrown into some lines lately. Better, more so last week than so far this week, but good spot potentially for him here if the weather is the way we think it's going to be.
Ref Goat no longer good anymore, ? Hitting 160 his last 10 games. Kind of, we'll see if he leads off again, but if he leads off, I guess you can get there. Melendez, if you're gonna target against Castillo, is fine. I don't know if you have anything else, but that's about it for.
No, that's about it. Let's go ahead and build a lineup here. Think about where we're going. We liked. Where do you think you want to sit in? Do you want to try Kershaw against Milwaukee, or did you want to live in that low range here with Morton Paxton group?
I'm okay doing either because we could get one of each or two of each in the mid tier.
Let's build a little mid tier line and see what we can do offensively here. So Morton Paxton, we'll look for some value here at the catcher spot most likely. Let's see here. Maybe Murphy against Marsh at 3K.
Connor
Wong's at 26. Yeah, we can just spend all the way down. I guess that's fine. Go Wong there. First base 43.85. I mean, do we try fitting Braves in? Do we want to try maybe contrarian with the Blue Jays or Rangers here?
I'm okay doing. I'm just looking around other positions to see like what our clear value.
Sure.
Our clear value is. I don't care. Like I'll play contrarian. If we play Blue Jays, we probably can't get Braves because the Blue Jays are still kind of expensive for no reason.
If we did if we just rode Braves, right? We'll do Nicky Lopez here at second base now, moving them all around the infield.
Thank God.
I guess
I want to play Story at short.
Okay, let's see. So if we do Acuna, get some value down here. It could do
Marlowe 34.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cavin's down here. I was going super cheap.
You could also play Nicky Lopez in the outfield at 28.
Yeah, Ref Snyder for sure in at 29.
He's just been bad. He's just been really bad.
Yeah, I know, but he's going to lead off for them most likely. So we'll see where we're going there. Just to see cash. We'll just see cash flow. 4K, you wanted Story. Where is he at?
45.
Third base and outfield, 37.75. We can do Rosario in the outfield. at 40 or 37, and then a 3,800 third baseman. Kike gives us a Dodgers one-off. Gives us 4 Braves: Olsen, Rosario, Acuna, Lopez, Connor Wong, and Ref Snyder. So our bottom of the lineup there with Boston and Story, and then 2 mid-tier pitchers. So just an example lineup here for the 8 games on a Wednesday. Again, James will be on the playbook, so we'll have that out. We'll also be back live at 5 o'clock Eastern, giving you all the lineup updates, news, and items that you guys need to dominate this slate. We'll be in Discord all day if you have any questions. But for now, James and I will catch you guys later.